The Boys Season 4 Theories and Predictions Explained. Well, Season 3 is now over, and what a season it was. The show delivered the finest it ever has, and it's already got me excited for Season 4 when it does eventually return. With Season 3 leaving a few things open and ready to get picked up when the show does finally return, I thought I'd give my theories and predictions as to what I believe could happen in the new season of the show. So let's get into it. Here is The Boys Season 4 Theories and Predictions Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Season 3 closed off with many of the arcs being resolved, and the forming of some new ones. We had the boys essentially getting back together, with Kimiko and Frenchie staying put and not going off to live their quiet life in Marseille, Starlight becoming a fully fledged member of the boys, Butcher being told that he only had a maximum of 18 months left to live, Queen Maeve departing the Seven powerless and seeming never to return, Black Noir being killed, A-Train in conflict with his brother, the Deep being as redundant as ever, Victoria Neuman running for VP under Singer, and Homelander now with Ryan as he used his laser vision on somebody in public, with Ryan looking amused. As per usual, I'm going to break down each individual character arc and group to discuss what I think could happen next season. Butcher. Butcher is a character that I feel is going to have great importance in the next season, just like he usually does, but with him being told that he only has around 18 months left to live, it will put a lot of pressure upon him to carry out all that he's wanted to do throughout the 3 seasons so far, and that is to kill Homelander. I imagine he won't want to go to his grave knowing that Homelander is still on Earth. Homelander also has his hands on Ryan now, as he chose to be with him instead of Butcher. And with Ryan being the last part of Becca that Butcher had, I imagine it's going to play heavily on him, as we saw him holding onto the chain that Ryan ripped off around his neck in episode 3. Butcher was still holding onto it, showing that he kept a hold of it throughout the entirety of the season. We've seen just how powerful Butcher is when he was on the V-24. He was able to cause damage to Homelander in Herogasm, something that previously was done by nobody, until Queen Maeve made him bleed in the season finale, and he also caused Soldier Boy to have a cut on his face, something that we heard was near impossible to do when Homelander told Black Noir that if he sharpened his blade for 1000 hours, it wouldn't cut through Soldier Boy, where Butcher was able to do so. So it showed just how powerful he was. One of the most powerful if he's able to deliver that level of damage. So I think something that may potentially be explored when he does finally tell the group that he's dying is that they may get him to take Permanent V, which will allow us to see him as an individual with powers all of the time, and could potentially be a lifeline to saving his life. We know he didn't have a problem with taking V-24 due to the fact that it was only temporary, and with his original view in hating soups, he may be slightly reluctant to take it as it will make him become one, but I think in the end we will see him take it. Homelander and Ryan. This is an arc that I think is going to be extremely interesting as we embark on Season 4. We've seen Ryan choose to go with Homelander, a decision being made by the character for the first time. We've seen how different Homelander is when he's with Ryan. He cares for him like no other, and he's the only thing that brings out a non-selfish human side to the character. He wants to be the father that he never had. With Homelander being loved by only a few now, and there being groups protesting against him, like we saw in the closing moments of the season, we could see his paranoia grow stronger. However, the people that are choosing to side with him are the type of individuals that were supporting Stormfront with her strong, extreme views, that are not favoured by the majority. So the extreme love from a few might be enough to keep his paranoia at bay. However, extreme people demand extreme action. So with Homelander using his laser vision on somebody in the final episode in front of everybody, and it being received with an erupting cheer, we could see the side to Homelander that Vought has been able to keep at bay and under wraps for the majority of the show. The danger to civilization side. He is his own person now, and I believe he's departed from the dismantled Seven. As he stated, he's more powerful than everybody combined, so I think he could well be doing his own thing in Season 4. Ryan is going to be watching his father, and I believe mirroring his behaviour. The slight smirk at the end of the season showed that the cheering from the people was something that he also saw as enjoyable. So I think he's going to grow into the individual that yearns to be loved by the public just like Homelander does. Starlight. As we know, Starlight has stepped away from the Seven and Vought, and it was symbolized by her throwing her outfit into the trash and becoming a fully fledged member of the boys. I imagine stopping Homelander is always going to be top of her priority list, along with Butcher, Hughie, and her growing group of supporters. However, with the rise of Victoria Neuman and her seeking out more political power, with her being the head popper, it doesn't bode well for the future. I think they will be playing the long game when it comes to trying to stop Neuman, because of just how powerful she is, and you can't get close to her without your head exploding. I think Starlight will still utilize her powers, but for good and on her own terms. To be honest, we didn't really see her use her powers much this season. She just threatened with them really. So I do hope we get to see more of them, because in the final battle it was something special when she charged them up, and I'd like to see more of that. Victoria Neuman. Neuman is a character that we still know very little about. We know that her identity is under wraps and not many know that she's the head popper, but her rise in power is something that's developing as the seasons go on. She formed an alliance with Homelander in episode 7 of season 3, and I feel this is something we could see happen again in season 4. They are both extremely powerful individuals, and with them on the same side it could cause a lot of damage. We also saw her inject her daughter with V back in episode 4 of season 3, and we've seen nothing of it since. So I think this is something we'll see get picked up again in season 4. We could well have another extremely powerful soup on the horizon. Hughie. With Hughie now having his "I want to save Starlight" feeling being completely satisfied by assisting her in the season finale, I think that will now get put to rest. I also think he's done with the V24 and we won't see him take any more of that in season 4. We do know that he was getting side effects from taking the temporary V, so that's something that could get addressed in season 4 of the show. Just because he didn't take that final dose, it doesn't mean that he's out of the woods completely. His brotherly relationship with Butcher is something that I think we will see continue and being explored in season 4. And with Butcher's health not being in the best condition, we could see Hughie stepping up to take the lead of the boys and coming to Butcher's aid like we saw in episode 7 of season 3. Mother's Milk. With Todd holding extreme views and supporting Homelander, we could see the tension between MM and Todd growing more and more. MM doesn't want his daughter Janine to be around the extreme views of Homelander, but Todd refuses to accept what MM has to say. Todd is an extremely unlikable character, and I think we'll see MM face off with him again on more than one occasion in the next season. Frenchie and Kimiko. With Kimiko now accepting the fact that she has powers, and being in control of the decision to get them back, I think we'll see her accept who she is as a person, and maybe even utilize the music and choreography when she carries out the powers. I think we'll see Frenchie and Kimiko also go after little Nina, and make her pay for capturing them back in season 3. I imagine they'll also be tied into the wider narrative of taking down Homelander and also trying to take down Victoria Neuman. A-Train and the Deep. These two characters didn't have that much involvement in the overall plot of season 3, and I think it's probably going to be the same in season 4 of the show. We'll probably see A-Train struggling with the relationship with his brother, but now that he can utilize his powers without the need of worrying about his heart, we could see him go back to the arrogant person that he was before. I don't think that will be the case though. I think we'll likely see him use his powers for good in the newfound second chance. The Deep is a character that I'm always intrigued by, as Homelander has this hold over him, and he does tend to seek for his approval and validation. And the final shot that we saw of him, with the portrait lingering over the Deep's head, symbolized that exactly. I imagine we'll see the bad press that's going to come out about him following his wife writing a book on escaping the Deep, but I do hope we get to see him utilize his powers and contribute a little bit more to the overarching story. So, there you have it, The Boys Season 4 Theories and Predictions Explained. If you want to see more videos on The Boys such as endings explained, theories and predictions, or character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review next, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review. And finally, if you want to see what I rate movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen in Season 4? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.